Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Rodger Dipasca, who is the Global Managing Director of Shopper Communications at WPP's Red Fuse agency, which is a team agency for Colgate-Palmolive. Rodger, thanks very much indeed for joining us. This, I've got to say, is the best time ever to be involved in retailing, shopper marketing. There isn't an aspect of it that isn't changing. There isn't technology that's not being enabled within the process. For anybody coming into the industry at this time, it's tremendous. You've been working in the retail and shopper marketing area for a large number of years. How did you first get involved in this black art?
Well, I had started my career in traditional advertising targeted towards consumers, doing very traditional ads, TV commercials, radio commercials, outdoor billboards, and so forth. And I'd done that for a couple of years and was then approached by a senior executive in the agency I was at who said, we're starting a new kind of agency and it's going to focus heavily on retail communications targeted towards shoppers. And sounded like a pretty good idea. I have to admit, at the time I wasn't like ridiculously gung-ho excited about it, but it seemed like something to try. And as it turns out, that was almost 20 years ago. And I think it was the best decision I ever made in my life in terms of my career, as things just rocketed from that point forward, and the world that you described with ever-changing retail, aided by technology and so forth, has just taken off tremendously. And I've rode that wave, and that became my career.
And I suppose people are contemplating a career in this area. Why should they do it?
To me, it just comes down to a good career journey. If you think about everything that the world of retail and shopper marketing involves, it will give you everything that you need for a strong, exciting career. So, for example, things like cross-functional experience. In retail and shopper marketing, whether you are on the retailer side or the manufacturer side, or you're with a solutions provider such as an agency or a consultancy, you're always collaborating with other functions. So, for example, when I service our client, Colgate-Palmolive Company, we're working with marketing, with sales, or as they say, customer development, but you're also interacting with insights, data and analytics, and even departments such as legal and finance and so forth. So it all comes together, and you have to learn how to collaborate. So I'd say that strong cross-functional experience is the first benefit. The second benefit is the fact that you actually work with retailers. I think in a lot of brand marketing positions or agency positions working on brands, you don't always get to work with the retailers, and I think that gives you a good dose of reality, right? When the retail realities hit you smack in the face. I think that's really good experience to understand all of those things around that are underneath a brand, like the product and the product assortment and the pricing and the profitability and so forth. I'd also say that last but not least, you get this experience, real-world experience, in omni-channel marketing in today's world. So whether you are working across different retail environments or channels, experiences with hypermarkets, supermarkets, drugstores, traditional trade, mom and pop stores, club stores, et cetera. You really get to see all the different kinds of channel of retail. And then from a communication standpoint, whether you're communicating to shoppers in stores with signs, displays, experiences, mobile communications, and so forth, or via e-commerce sites and other kinds of digital communications targeted towards shoppers, from email blasts to mobile coupons, et cetera, you're getting this experience in a real-world kind of way that you don't always get in other aspects of marketing or agency.
So what advice would you give people who are contemplating a career in this space?
I would say be prepared. You need to be prepared to collaborate. It goes to that whole point about cross-functionality. And collaboration is key for this complicated marketing world that we live in. Secondly, I would say be prepared to work fast. China speed, as we've been discussing.
I think that's going to be the new mantra for everybody now. You've got to go China speed.
Exactly. You have to work fast. You need to iterate. You need to constantly reassess what you're doing so you can move things from good to great, or improve campaigns or programs year over year if you're anniversarying them. I would also say that you need to be prepared to travel. Retail is influenced in so many different ways by so many different places around the globe. Most notably China, where you're starting to see innovations in retail and commerce start to go to other parts of the world. But even in developing countries and emerging markets, I've seen great ideas come from countries in Africa that you would never think are going to inspire ideas in Latin America or Europe and so forth. So if you can get into the world of retail and shopper marketing in a multinational or international, global way, you're going to see a lot, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to have fun.
Finally, looking back at the few years that you've been working in this space, what's your most career rewarding experience that you've had? Maybe a campaign you worked on, or a success in a particular area, or a problem you cracked?
It's the answer to that question to me is something that gets back to the very first reason why I entered the marketing industry through advertising. And it may sound corny, but it's just I love the idea of marketing being able to suck money out of someone's wallet. I just always found that fascinating, that you can convince somebody to part with their money based on, at the time, advertising communications. But what I found most satisfying about the retail and shopper world is that you can relate that withdrawal of the money so much better or sharper in the world of retail and shopper marketing. So to me, I just love it when the cash register rings. To me, whatever category or product I'm working on, watching the sales get made, hopefully a profitable sale, but sales and profitability, watching that happen is great.
Rodger, many thanks. Thanks very much for talking to us.
You're welcome. Great.